The Martian wind howled across the desolate landscape, sending red dust swirling around the excavation site. Dr. Jonas Carter squinted through his visor at the massive obelisk protruding from the ground. It had taken months of painstaking work to unearth this mysterious artifact, and now it stood before them in all its enigmatic glory. "All right, let's get the scanners set up," Dr. Carter instructed his team. The group of scientists and engineers moved with practiced efficiency, setting up a variety of instruments around the obelisk. Each one of them felt the weight of history pressing down on their shoulders. As the equipment whirred to life, the obelisk began to emit a faint hum. Dr. Carter's heart skipped a beat. "Are you all seeing this?" he asked, his voice tinged with excitement. Captain Sarah Evans, who had been overseeing the operation from a nearby rover, approached. "What's happening, Jonas?" she asked, her eyes fixed on the obelisk. "It's reacting to our presence," he replied. "We need to be cautious, but also make sure we document everything." The hum grew louder, and strange symbols began to glow on the surface of the obelisk. Dr. Carter's mind raced as he tried to decipher the alien script. "This is beyond anything we've ever seen," he muttered to himself. Suddenly, a beam of light shot from the top of the obelisk into the sky, and the ground beneath them trembled. The beam projected a star map onto the sky, showing a region of space no human had ever explored. "This is it," Captain Evans said, her voice filled with awe. "We've found something extraordinary." Back on Earth, news of the Martian discovery spread like wildfire. The United Earth Space Agency, UESA, quickly assembled a team of experts to investigate the star map. Dr. Carter and Captain Evans were appointed to lead the mission, given their first-hand experience with the obelisk. The crew of the Horizon, a state-of-the-art exploration vessel, was carefully selected. Each member brought unique skills to the table. Lieutenant Marco Tanaka, a tactical genius, Dr. Priya Mehta, an expert in xenobiology, and Engineer Mateo Lopez, a prodigy in alien technology. As they prepared for departure, the atmosphere was a mix of excitement and apprehension. "We're venturing into the unknown," Dr. Mehta said, her voice tinged with both fear and anticipation. "Who knows what we'll find out there?" The Horizon launched into the depths of space, following the coordinates projected by the obelisk. The journey was long, filled with the hum of the ship's engines and the occasional chatter of the crew. The sense of anticipation grew with each passing day. Finally, they arrived at their destination. The uncharted region of space was unlike anything they had ever seen. Stars and planets swirled in a cosmic dance, and the sensors picked up an artificial structure orbiting a distant planet. "That's our target," Captain Evans announced. "Prepare for approach." As they drew closer, the structure came into view. It was a massive space station, clearly of alien origin. The crew exchanged nervous glances as they docked the Horizon. They had no idea what awaited them inside. The airlock hissed open, and the crew stepped into the alien station. The architecture was unlike anything they had seen before, with flowing lines and organic shapes that seemed to defy gravity. Strange symbols adorned the walls, glowing faintly in the dim light. "Stay alert," Captain Evans cautioned. "We don't know what we're dealing with here." As they explored the station, they encountered a group of beings. The aliens were tall and slender, with skin that shimmered in hues of blue and green. Their eyes glowed with an inner light, and they moved with an ethereal grace. One of the aliens stepped forward and spoke in a melodic language. Dr. Mehta activated her translator device, and the alien's words became clear. "Welcome, travelers from Earth," the alien said. "We are the Valtari, custodians of this region. Your presence here is unexpected, but intriguing." Captain Evans stepped forward, her expression calm but wary. "We come in peace," she said. "We discovered a map that led us here. We seek knowledge and understanding." The Valtari leader, who introduced himself as Aaron, nodded. "We have been observing your species for some time. You possess great potential, but also great capacity for destruction. We must decide if you are worthy of our trust." Over the next few days, the humans and Valtari engaged in a series of cultural exchanges and discussions. The Valtari shared their advanced technology and knowledge, while the humans demonstrated their ingenuity and adaptability. Despite initial tensions, a mutual respect began to form. However, the peace was fragile. The crew of the Horizon uncovered disturbing information about a warlike alien race called the Cryar. The Valtari confirmed the threat, explaining that the Cryar had been conquering and enslaving other species across the galaxy. "This changes everything," Captain Evans said, her voice steely with determination. "We need to prepare. If the Cryar are coming, we have to be ready." The Valtari agreed to help humanity, forming a tentative alliance. Together they began to develop a plan to defend against the Cryar threat, knowing that their survival depended on their ability to work together. The Horizon returned to Earth with urgent news about the Cryar threat. Dr. Carter and Captain Evans presented their findings to the United Earth Space Agency and the Global Defense Council. The holographic display showed the vast Cryar fleet and the trail of destruction they had left across the galaxy. "We must act quickly," Dr. Carter urged. "The Cryar are unlike any enemy we've faced. Their technology is advanced, and their ruthlessness knows no bounds." President Elena Ramirez, the head of the Global Defense Council, leaned forward. "We need to form a united front," she said. "We'll reach out to our allies and mobilize our forces. The Valtari have offered to help us, but we must also rely on our own strength." As Earth prepared for war, tensions ran high. Nations that had been rivals for centuries now had to cooperate. The Valtari sent emissaries to Earth to aid in the preparations, sharing their technology and expertise. Despite the looming threat, there was a sense of hope. Humanity had faced existential threats before, and they would do so again. In the midst of these preparations, Captain Evans received a disturbing report. A Cryar scout ship had been detected near the Martian Obelisk site. She gathered her team and set out for Mars immediately, determined to investigate. When they arrived, they found the site in ruins. Equipment was destroyed, and several scientists were missing. As they searched for clues, a hidden message was discovered in the Obelisk's data logs. It detailed a Cryar plan to infiltrate Earth's defenses and sabotage their efforts from within. "We have a traitor among us," Captain Evans realized. "Someone is feeding information to the Cryar." Back on Earth, the revelation of a traitor sent shockwaves through the ranks. Security measures were tightened, and an internal investigation was launched. Trust was in short supply, and suspicion ran rampant. Amidst this chaos, Dr. Carter made a breakthrough in understanding the Obelisk's technology. He discovered it could generate powerful energy shields and even produce resources necessary for the war effort. He presented his findings to President Ramirez and the Valtari leaders. "This technology could turn the tide in our favor," Dr. Carter explained. "But we need to integrate it with our existing systems. It will take time and cooperation." Valtari engineers worked side by side with human scientists, forging a bond of necessity. Despite cultural differences and mutual distrust, both sides recognized the importance of their collaboration. The Valtari admired humanity's resilience and ingenuity, while humans were in awe of Valtari's advanced technology and wisdom. Lieutenant Marco Tanaka, known for his tactical genius, proposed a daring plan to use the Obelisk's technology to strike at the Cryar's supply lines. He believed that cutting off their resources would weaken their war effort and buy humanity more time to prepare. As the plan was set in motion, Captain Evans couldn't shake the feeling that the traitor was still out there, watching and waiting. The tension was palpable as the joint Human-Valtari task force launched their mission to disrupt the Cryar supply lines. The mission started smoothly. The task force successfully infiltrated a Cryar supply outpost, using the Obelisk's technology to bypass security systems. They planted explosives and gathered crucial intelligence on the Cryar's movements. Just as they were about to withdraw, disaster struck. A well-coordinated Cryar counterattack caught them off guard. Explosions rocked the outpost, and the team found themselves pinned down under heavy fire. Captain Evans ordered a retreat, but it was too late. The Cryar seemed to anticipate their every move. In the chaos, she noticed one of her own team members acting suspiciously. It was Lieutenant Ryan Cooper, a communications officer. She confronted him, and he tried to flee. "Why, Cooper?" she demanded, her voice filled with anger and betrayal. Cooper sneered. "You don't understand, Captain. The Valtari are just as dangerous as the Cryar. I had to make a choice. Before he could say more, a Valtari soldier incapacitated him. The remaining team members managed to escape, but the damage was done. The mission was a failure, and the losses were heavy. Back on Earth, the traitors' actions sent shockwaves through the ranks. Cooper's betrayal forced everyone to confront their deepest fears and prejudices. The alliance was strained, but it held. Captain Evans and Dr. Carter vowed to redouble their efforts, knowing that their survival depended on their ability to work together. With the traitor exposed, the focus shifted back to the looming Cryar threat. The humans and Valtari realized that they needed to find a way to trust each other fully, or they would never stand a chance against their common enemy. Dr. Carter paced the laboratory, surrounded by holographic projections of the Obelisk's intricate designs. The recent betrayal had shaken the team, but they were more determined than ever to unlock the full potential of the alien technology. As he adjusted the settings on one of the projections, a sudden realization struck him. "Wait a minute," he muttered, zooming in on a particular sequence of symbols. "This isn't just a weapon, it's a resource generator." He called over Dr. Mehta and Engineer Lopez, explaining his discovery. The Obelisk had the potential to create energy shields, produce food and water, and even repair damaged ecosystems. It was a tool for rebuilding as much as it was for defense. "This could change everything," Dr. Mehta said, her eyes wide with excitement. "We need to get this integrated into our systems immediately." They presented their findings to President Ramirez and the Valtari leaders. The decision was made to prioritize the development of this technology, shifting the focus from purely offensive capabilities to a more balanced approach that included humanitarian applications. This decision was met with some resistance from the military leaders, but the promise of a brighter future ultimately won them over. As the integration efforts began, Captain Evans and her crew were dispatched on a critical mission to gather additional obelisk fragments from various locations across the galaxy. These fragments were believed to hold the key to unlocking even more advanced capabilities. During their mission, they encountered remnants of civilizations destroyed by the Cryar. The devastation was a stark reminder of what was at stake. However, they also found survivors, refugees from different species, who joined their cause, each bringing unique skills and knowledge. The intelligence gathered from the obelisk fragments indicated that the Cryar were planning a massive invasion of the Saul system. The Allied forces needed more information to prepare an effective defense. Captain Evans proposed a daring plan to infiltrate a Cryar stronghold and gather crucial intelligence. Lieutenant Tanaka, with his tactical expertise, led a small team on the mission. They used advanced cloaking technology, courtesy of the Valtari, to slip past Cryar defenses. The stronghold was a labyrinth of alien architecture, filled with heavily armed guards and sophisticated security systems. The team moved with precision, avoiding detection as they hacked into the Cryar mainframe. What they discovered was both alarming and motivating. The Cryar were preparing a fleet that dwarfed anything humanity and the Valtari had seen before. Their objective was clear. Earth was the next target. Just as they were about to exfiltrate, they were discovered. A fierce battle ensued, with Tanaka's team fighting their way out. The mission was a success, but not without cost. Several team members were injured, and the reality of the Cryar threat loomed larger than ever. Back on Earth, the data retrieved by Tanaka's team was analyzed. It provided invaluable insights into Cryar strategies and weaknesses. This information became the cornerstone of the Allied defense plans. The day had come. The Cryar fleet appeared on the outskirts of the Saul system, a menacing swarm of ships that blotted out the stars. Earth's combined human and Valtari forces stood ready, their fleets positioned in strategic formations around the planet. President Ramirez addressed the world in a broadcast that was also transmitted to the Valtari homeworld. "We stand at the brink of an unprecedented battle, but we are not alone. Today, we fight not just for Earth, but for every free species in this galaxy. We are united, and we will prevail." The Cryar struck first, their ships unleashing a torrent of firepower. The Allied forces responded in kind, their newly integrated technology proving its worth. Energy shields absorbed and deflected the Cryar attacks, while advanced weaponry returned fire with devastating precision. Space became a chaotic battlefield, with ships darting and weaving through a storm of lasers and explosions. The Horizon, now a flagship of the fleet, led several critical offensives, targeting Cryar command vessels and disrupting their coordination. Captain Evans coordinated with Valtari leaders, leveraging their combined knowledge to outmaneuver the Cryar at every turn. Dr. Carter and his team worked tirelessly from a command center on Earth, using the Obelisk's technology to support the fleet and monitor the battlefield. Despite their efforts, the battle was brutal. Ships were lost and lives were sacrificed. At one point, a Cryar boarding party breached the Horizon. Captain Evans and her crew fought them off in close-quarters combat, demonstrating humanity's tenacity and resolve. Amidst the chaos, a breakthrough came. Dr. Meta discovered a weakness in the Cryar flagship's shield matrix. Captain Evans seized the opportunity, leading a daring assault on the Cryar flagship. The battle was intense, with the Horizon taking heavy fire, but they managed to breach the Cryar defenses. In a final desperate maneuver, Captain Evans sacrificed herself, ramming the Horizon into the Cryar flagship and destroying it from within. The explosion sent shockwaves through the Cryar fleet, sowing confusion and fear. Inspired by Evans's bravery, the Allied forces rallied. They pressed their advantage, pushing the Cryar back and ultimately forcing their retreat. The Battle of Saul was won, but the cost was high. The loss of Captain Evans was deeply felt, but her sacrifice had saved countless lives and secured a future for humanity and their allies. The wreckage of the Horizon floated in space, a testament to the fierce battle that had taken place. The loss of Captain Sarah Evans weighed heavily on everyone. Her sacrifice had turned the tide of the battle, but it had come at a great personal cost to the crew who had served under her command. Dr. Carter stood before the assembled crew of the Horizon and the Allied forces. Today we mourn the loss of a great leader and a dear friend. Captain Evans's bravery and selflessness have given us a chance to build a better future. We must honor her memory by continuing her work. As Earth and the Valtari began to rebuild, they received a transmission from the Cryar. It was an ultimatum: surrender and become part of their empire, or face total annihilation. The message was clear: the Cryar would not stop until they had conquered all. President Ramirez and the Valtari leaders convened an emergency council. They decided that the only way to ensure lasting peace was to take the fight to the Cryar homeworld. The newly strengthened alliance prepared for the final assault, drawing on the technology and resources provided by the Obelisk. Meanwhile, Dr. Carter and Dr. Meta worked tirelessly to unlock the remaining secrets of the Obelisk. They discovered a way to enhance the energy shields and weapons, making them even more effective against Cryar defenses. Engineer Lopez and his team quickly implemented these upgrades across the fleet. With the preparations complete, the Allied forces embarked on their most dangerous mission yet. They knew that this battle would determine the fate of their worlds and the future of the galaxy. The Allied fleet emerged from hyperspace near the Cryar homeworld, a planet shrouded in darkness and fortified with formidable defenses. The Cryar fleet awaited them, ready to defend their stronghold to the death. Admiral Marcus Steele, a seasoned military strategist, took command in Captain Evans's absence. All ships, prepare for engagement. This is it, our final stand, for Earth, for the Valtari, and for every species oppressed by the Cryar. The battle began with a coordinated strike on the Cryar's outer defenses. The Obelisk-enhanced shields proved their worth, absorbing and deflecting the enemy's powerful energy blasts. The Allied fleet pressed forward, determined to breach the Cryar lines. Dr. Carter and Dr. Meta monitored the battle from the command center on Earth. They guided the fleet using real-time data from the Obelisk, identifying weak points in the Cryar defenses. The information proved invaluable, allowing the Allies to outmaneuver their opponents. On the ground, elite strike teams infiltrated the Cryar's planetary defense installations. They faced intense resistance but were relentless in their mission. Among them was Lieutenant Tanaka, leading a squad tasked with disabling the Cryar's main power grid. The fighting was brutal, but their resolve never wavered. As the battle raged, the Allied forces gradually gained the upper hand. Admiral Steele ordered a full-scale assault on the Cryar command center, located deep within a fortified mountain range. The flagship of the Allied fleet, the Liberty, led the charge. Inside the command center, Cryar leaders desperately tried to rally their forces, but the relentless advance of the Allies, combined with the strategic brilliance of Admiral Steele and the technological superiority provided by the Obelisk, proved too much for them. In a final, decisive strike, the Liberty unleashed a barrage of Obelisk-enhanced weaponry, penetrating the Cryar command center's defenses. The structure collapsed in a fiery explosion, marking the end of the Cryar's reign of terror. With the Cryar defeated, the Allied forces turned their attention to the monumental task of rebuilding and healing. The Obelisk's technology was instrumental in this effort, providing the means to restore devastated ecosystems, generate resources, and rebuild infrastructure. On Earth, President Ramirez addressed the global population. Today we celebrate a hard-won victory. We have shown that through unity and cooperation, we can overcome even the greatest of threats. Now we must focus on rebuilding and ensuring a prosperous future for all. The Valtari leaders echoed this sentiment, pledging their continued support and cooperation. Together, they initiated a series of humanitarian missions to aid the worlds that had suffered under Cryar oppression. The Obelisk's technology was used to heal the scars of war and bring life back to barren lands. Dr. Carter and his team continued their research, uncovering new applications for the Obelisk's technology. They established a series of research facilities dedicated to exploring these possibilities, inviting scientists from across the galaxy to collaborate. Lieutenant Tanaka, now promoted to captain, led missions to locate and assist surviving members of the species subjugated by the Cryar. These missions fostered new alliances and friendships, further strengthening the bonds between the different civilizations. On a personal level, the crew of the Horizon honored Captain Evans's memory by dedicating a new starship in her name. The SS Evans was equipped with the latest advancements in Obelisk technology and embarked on a mission of exploration and diplomacy, embodying the spirit of unity and hope that she had championed. As the years passed, the alliance between Earth and the Valtari grew stronger. Together, they established a new era of cooperation and mutual respect, exploring the galaxy and sharing their knowledge. The Obelisk's true potential continued to be unraveled, promising even greater discoveries and adventures. The sacrifices made during the war were never forgotten. Memorials were erected to honor those who had given their lives for the cause, and their stories were passed down to future generations as a reminder of the power of unity and the importance of fighting for a just and peaceful galaxy. In this new era of rebuilding and renewal, humanity and their allies face the future with optimism and determination, knowing that together they could overcome any challenge and build a better world for all. Years had passed since the final battle against the Cryar, and the galaxy was now a different place. The alliance between Earth and the Valtari had flourished, leading to unprecedented levels of cooperation and technological advancement. The Obelisk's technology had revolutionized life across multiple worlds, bringing prosperity and peace. Dr. Jonas Carter stood on the observation deck of the SS Evans, gazing out at the vibrant nebula that surrounded them. The ship was on a mission to explore uncharted regions of the galaxy, continuing the legacy of Captain Sarah Evans. He smiled as he thought of the progress they had made and the unity they had achieved. "Dr. Carter, we're approaching the coordinates." Captain Marco Tanaka's voice crackled over the intercom. "You might want to see this." Jonas made his way to the bridge where the crew was abuzz with excitement. The view on the main screen was breathtaking, a massive, ancient structure floating in the void, emitting a soft, pulsating light. "It looks like another obelisk," Dr. Priya Mehta said, her eyes wide with wonder. "But it's much larger than the one we found on Mars." Captain Tanaka nodded. "Prepare a landing party. Dr. Carter, you and Dr. Mehta will lead the expedition." As the shuttle descended toward the structure, Jonas felt a sense of déjà vu. The thrill of discovery, the promise of new knowledge, it was what had driven him all these years. They landed on a platform that extended from the Obelisk's surface, and the team disembarked, their suits equipped with the latest advancements in Obelisk technology. The interior of the structure was awe-inspiring, filled with intricate designs and glowing symbols. As they ventured deeper, they discovered a central chamber with a massive control panel. Jonas and Priya began to examine it, their fingers dancing over the alien interface. Suddenly, the symbols on the panel began to shift, forming recognizable patterns. A holographic projection appeared in the center of the room, depicting a galaxy map. It highlighted several key locations, each marked with a unique symbol. "It's a star map," Priya said, her voice filled with excitement. "And it's pointing to several new locations," Jonas nodded. "This could be the key to unlocking even more advanced technology and understanding our place in the galaxy." The team transmitted their findings back to the SS Evans, and soon the entire crew was preparing for the next phase of their mission. The discovery of the new star map ignited a sense of purpose and adventure, driving them to explore these uncharted territories. Back on Earth, President Ramirez and the Valtari leaders received the news with enthusiasm. The alliance had grown into a coalition of multiple species, all working together to explore and understand the galaxy. The discoveries made by the SS Evans and other exploration vessels were shared freely, benefiting all. As the SS Evans set a course for the first of the new coordinates, Jonas took a moment to reflect on their journey. They had faced incredible challenges, endured great losses, and achieved remarkable victories. The future was uncertain, but it was also filled with endless possibilities. He looked at Captain Tanaka, who was overseeing the preparations with a confident smile. "We've come a long way, Marco, and we still have so much more to discover." Tanaka nodded. "Indeed, Jonas. This is just the beginning. We're explorers at heart, and the galaxy is vast. Who knows what wonders await us out there?" As the SS Evans soared through space, guided by the new star map, the crew felt a sense of unity and purpose. They were not just exploring the galaxy, they were building a legacy of cooperation, understanding, and hope. The stars stretched out before them, a tapestry of infinite possibilities. With each new discovery, they honored the memory of those who had sacrificed so much and continued to build a future where tools, not weapons, would shape their destiny. And so, under the light of distant stars, humanity and their allies embarked on new journeys, united by a shared vision of peace and progress. The dawn of a new era had begun, and the galaxy was theirs to explore.